Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. We are in Chaguanas and we're going to be speaking with Natasha Simon, the leader of the Majestic Mokos. Well, I want to say thank you for making the time, Natasha. The first time I would have seen you on stilts, I was calling you Miss Santa, and we used that footage for a feel-good moment on TTT. But we in Chaguanas right now. Talk to me about how you on stilts, please.
Well, hello to everyone, and the founder of Majestic Mokos, and just my love for Trinidad culture, my passion for dance. Dance education is my major at university, and I wanted to continue living my dream and making it my reality and reality for others.
But I find sometimes people might say, okay, well, they want to dance, they want to represent the culture, you see them on a best village stage or something else like that. Why specifically Moko Jumbies leading towards Majestic Mokos?
The majesticness of it. Majestic Mokos. So they're always so high and great and mighty. And I see not only African culture, but the mixtures of our Trini culture as being so magnificent, so majestic. And I fell in love with the Moko Jumbie. I learned from Junior Besnat, San Fernando, and he is an excellent teacher. And it was my calling to continue to pursue this and to teach it to others. And my students are filled with so much of life when they're up on there. My 8-year-old son, he started when he was 6, and he used to actually fall asleep. The only time I could have gotten the stilts off of him was when he was asleep. That's the only time I could have taken it off.
So you're literally kind of born into this. And I like the fact that you call Junior Business name, because it seems as though he's so open with the information in terms of come and learn. Because I'm guessing too that if you are the practitioner of something, I'm a pause reason talking about it, you would want to see that continue past
Definitely.
you, as opposed to just saying, okay, well, I transpire or I transition and that's the end of it. But how did people start to come to you to learn? Is it a matter of you saying, okay, well, you all are teaching this, or people seeing you doing it? What's that story like?
Well, I started with the students at my school, Marabella South Secondary School, where I'm presently at, and it was a struggle for my area at first. So I started, this was an initiation, me walking from house to house to house in this village, St. Thomas Village, inviting students to come to learn, and nobody responded. And the next year I tried it again and nobody responded. And the next year I tried it again and nobody responded. But then, breakthrough. It eventually happened last year. Students started to come from all over until I didn't even have sticks to facilitate the students. And I continued to grow, we continue to grow, and we are here still.
What's that feeling like? And you're walking house to house and still, so you're walking without...
No, on my flats.
But what is it feeling like? Because you know the power, you're feeling this level of energy, how majestic it is, and wanting to share that feeling, to share that energy. And what's the difference between nobody coming and then everybody coming?
There's not a dictionary explanation for that joy, that the dream is going to soar. There's no word, that fulfillment, that yes, we're going to go forward. Yeah.
And you said you're actually looking at it both in terms of the art and as well as the business because you're registered?
Yes. So I'm a registered performing company since 2023, and we have been performing for the past 6 years, but registered just last year.
Okay, why was that step important to you?
Because I needed to not only get that respect. But in terms of financing what we need, businesses need proper documentation.
And that,
Yeah.
and that makes me ask, what are some of the resources that go into funding? And this is not just money, but in terms like the wood for the stilts or glue to put things together. What are some of those resources that you need that go into stilt
A
working?
lot of material. So we need wood and nails and glue and bolts and straps and Velcro and costuming. So the list is long. The list is long.
And is there a type of style or event that you prefer to have Majestic Mokos at? Or is it that it just depends on what it is, or it doesn't depend?
Well, the fire in the carnival. The fire is in the carnival. But we perform at all events. We perform at weddings, at birthday parties, at funerals. Christmas, as you mentioned, I was Mrs. Moko, Santa Moko. So all different kind of events, yeah.
And what kind of feedback do you get? Is it of more people trying to learn, or how you're doing that? Or what kind of,
All of that.
especially if there's someone who's never been close to Moko Jumbie?
So sometimes we get a mixture of fear. Oh God, afraid. And then we get a mixture of awe and excitement because we're so tall and great. And then I add carnival props onto it, costume props, to make it even more majestic and greater and higher and larger and magnificent. So,
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to get a little deeper into the conversation. We are speaking with Natasha Simon, the person behind Majestic Mokos. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are speaking with Natasha Simon, the person behind Majestic Mokos, and what we found out thus far is how it is you got into it. We found out, okay, well, you're teaching as well, so you're teaching in school, teaching here, but what we don't know though is there a way that students are able to take this a little further, so almost kind of like formalize the education that they're learning? Because I heard there's a possible CAPE component as well.
yes, which became familiar to me when a student, I got a phone call, someone recommended my school, and she was interested in joining to facilitate her CAPE exams. So that was exciting news for me because she was actually encouraged to go to another school. Well, of course, we're new and we are still somewhat unknown. And when she came here for her first rehearsal, she decided to change where she was suggested to go to my school. And she did her first practice and she loved it. She was confident and she's still here.
And is that a matter of just walking or learning how to make the stilts, learning some of the history behind Moko Jumbies? What are some of the things that she's learning here that literally she can take and translate and put into what she's doing for CAPE?
So she has to learn the history of stilt walking, not only Moko Jumbie. She has to learn the history of stilt walking. She has to learn the history of the culture of Moko Jumbie in Trinidad and Tobago, its origin. And for her particular purpose, she has to also research. She is supposed to be a fairy on stilts for her particular exam. So she also has to go and research fairy movements. She has to also be confident in walking, in balancing, in hopping, and executing her performance. So she's not supposed to be up on stilts looking like if it's a problem.
And even that, what are some of those, and I want to say basic, it's not basic I mean, because who know it could do it, but you spoke about hopping, you spoke about balancing, then there are different sorts of tricks that we see,
Yes, stunts.
lifting one leg, having somebody hold your leg. Are some easier than the other, or what is the progression?
So according to my students, when your vibes in, everything just fall in place. So there are particular skills, for example, like falling. You have to learn how to tuck in and fall, or falling on the protective knee brace. You must be able to just balance, walking on one spot. That's for starters. So you just march on one spot, up and down, and when you're comfortable there, then you move forward. Then then you move forward. So I have seen some students, yeah man, that easy, that real easy. And as they make a step forward, plateau.
This on high ones or shorter ones?
So this would be on 6 inches or 1 foot.
Okay.
Because they see it just as an extension of their legs, but you must, just as life has rules, you must follow rules first. Yeah, and then after, when you're comfortable, man, your vibes in, and all your own stunts, my students, the majority of students in Trinidad and Tobago in the different schools, they are very, very skilled. You see them with all kind of stunts, all kind of tricks, and they enjoy. The most important thing that you feel that you catch is the enjoyment of it.
Vibes in. But it's one thing to know how to do it. Is it easy to translate? Because I know that teaching is a skill, and it builds upon the skill of knowing. So knowing it is one thing.
Right.
Teaching it another is another thing. How easy is that, or how was that for you? What was that experience like for you?
It was quite easy because I have been teaching 26 years. I have been teaching 26 years and dealing and interacting with others for a very long time. So passing something on to others that I love made it even easier.
And even looking at, and this is me thinking that dance education, helping to make that link between mind and body,
Definitely.
would also help here, because sometimes there are some things that you feel more than you think.
Definitely.
And I think possibly that's a bit of where the vibes in comes in.
Trinidad on a whole, we are a people that love to lime and love to enjoy others and the company of others and the music, and that plays an important part with the Moko Jumbie, teaching it and learning it. Yeah, it plays a very important part. So some of the tricks that I see my students doing, I didn't teach them. I did not teach them. Some of them I can do them, but they get it within themselves. Within that spirit, it's inside and they bring it out.
And Albert Einstein says that plays the highest form of researcher. So when you're doing it, not thinking of it like a task or a chore, you're able to kind of go into yourself and take something and pull it out for everybody else to see.
Yes.
But in terms of things to see, I hear it's not just Moko Jumbie that you're dealing with.
Absolutely not. So we have started, I have been trying to get the officials to come to teach us fire breathing for a very long while. So that didn't materialize. So I did my research and we started it on our own, and we breathe in fire. We breathe in fire.
So what's that like? Or is it, and is that, do you do that while on stilts? Is that something that you incorporate like that? Because you said that you add the mask costumes and that brings it up a notch.
Yes.
Is that something that you're doing on stilts as yet?
Yes. So we do it on stilts, we do it on the road, lie down on the ground, wherever the feel take you, you breathe your fire.
But you spoke about the Cape student coming to you. How do other people get onto Majestic Mokos, finding out where they are, engaging them for events?
All right, so you all can contact us via email and phone. My phone number, my contact number is 734 734-8011. So I'll say that again, 734-8011. And my email, Majestic Moko Jumbies 44, that is 44, at gmail.com.
Majestic Moko Jumbies 44 at gmail.com.
Yes.
What's the itinerary like for the carnival? What's the plans? Because they say it's the fire around this time. So you have anything that you're planning on?
So we're busy. Different events that we're competing in and we have been invited to. So I told my students, get enough sleep, eat well, pray, and come out to jam for this carnival. Just full enjoyment.
And even before we close, what's the importance of prayer? Because one of the things I like to speak to makers of mass as opposed to just individuals who play mass, because sometimes you have individuals who talk about playing mass and they talk about it as a spiritual experience. But to me, different people, in terms of like people playing stick, people playing rope jab,
Yes.
violin and gorilla, it seems as though there's such a spiritual aspect to it in terms of preparing yourself, preparing your mind, preparing your energy to go into this. Is that the same with your experience?
Personally, for me, I know that I am not the creator of me. So I need to pay honor to a greater being. And I also ask for protection daily for myself, my students, my family. And prayer is a very, very important aspect of connecting to whoever your creator is. So we ain't just come here just so. And we need to give thanks and to pay honor and tribute to whoever our creator, because we all believe in different backgrounds, different faiths. I know that there is a larger one, and I ask for protection for myself when we go into different performances, when we embody different characters, and whoever our higher being is, we must pay homage and honor to.
And I want to honor the work that you're doing here. And I also want to ask for protection, because the next episode, you're going to see me trying a thing with Majestic Mokos. But for this one, I want to thank you very much, Natasha Simon, as well as your students who are in the background, because they've been up there for a while. And on behalf of you tuning in through the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.